Hey now, this is Uncle Magic and Uncle Magic's light shows, and people have been asking me about a rig rundown, how things are set up, what I can do, and more to the point, how does it get so trippy when I'm dancing and watching your stuff? Well, at least that's what we hope we will hear, and for the most part, yeah, it happens that way. So, going to switch around and start showing you the different sections. This iPad running Touch OSC is the core of my live performance rig. It controls Resolume, it controls Nest Drop. Um, it basically gives me the ability to work without a MIDI surface, uh, without going into a custom bespoke solution. I just wasn't finding surfaces that matched how I wanted to use Resolume for busking, for live improvisational performances. So basically, what we have here, and these are mapped to layers in Resolume, is I have layer one, and I have an opacity fader for it. And within layer one, I can choose different sources. These are different nest drop generators. And then I have the ability to do basic geometry stuff like mirroring and also flipping. I added a rotation, which is running off beats per second, beats per minute, I mean, and you can change the direction on that. It has a zoom involved just so you don't see the edges, and we can take that back off. Um, we have color controls, and this is again per layer, and I can tweak the hue, saturation, just the basic color and geometry stuff that you want to have access to with any source. So that's layer one. Layer two has an older layout on the effects, but pretty much the same thing. And so if I put layer two, Nest 2, um, up here in the corner, right over here, is my preview monitor. And underneath the clip selectors is the preview bus. And so I can send anything into preview. Now, I can take this source, bring it up. Not sure why I lost. There we go. There's that one. And anyway, that's how those are set up. And then on top of that, I have an effects layer that gives me things like RGB rotate. And instead of rotation, I can do delays like that. Powerful stuff. Um, then we also have a kaleidoscope layer that gives me the ability to add a kaleidoscope on top of uh, layers one and two, well as the effects layer. Now, like a good DJ mixer, I have an A side and I have a B side. And this over here is the B side. And I can bring this kaleidoscope in, but also take this, come over here, rotate the hue. And apparently I'm on 5. So we're going to hue rotate here. And then bring it back. On top of everything, I have a logo layer. Okay, in the upper right hand corner, I have a bunch of palettes for Nest Drop, uh, the visualizer based on Milk Drop from the good old Winamp days. Spent many hours staring at this while listening to music back when I was younger. And now, MIDI OSC control, beat reactive. It's a great tool for VJing, especially for live events where you don't have clips. Um, they definitely have an aesthetic, though. And so currently, here's one. And then you'll see I have 25 different buttons set up over here. And over here, the palette for yellow has 25. So if I click in the upper corner, then we move 25 to there. And if I bring up that level, there we go. So I selected 4, and that's on this layer 6. And if I come back here to nest 4 and come in, I can change which preset, as well as tweak parameters. Now this one's not a favorite. We can come over and do the same thing. So what we have here in Resolume is the different content layers, including the spout outputs from NestDrop, very low latency, siphon for the Mac heads, except NestDrop is only Windows. NDI source, currently offline. That's my phone camera. I have a second capture device. This video router is a decklink input that I want to be able to put a color corrector effect on, so that no matter which layer I add it to, it has the color correction I want. So I'm just basically using layer 11 just as a router layer, so I can put an effect, since you can't just put an effect on an input itself. That's the second part of the rig. We'll look at liquid light next. With liquid light, we have a Sony a6000 camera aimed down at a Liquid Light Labs 6-inch rotating turntable. The turntable does have color control, and the different colors combined with the dyes I'm using can give us different effects optically before they even get into the system. Now we have this yellow and red. We're going to come over here and let's push that. Oh, that's right. Bring the effect layer up. So we can take that yellow and red. There we go. And okay. Who doesn't love purples and pinks? Now that we've done that, we can come over to this side, grab the SEM deck link. We're going to flip it X and Y. And when we crossfade, we see a difference merge between those two. But if I decide that whether I'd look at an alpha blend, we'd get that, an inverted difference, and a difference. What we can also do is come over here, play with the hue rotation, and then see that we have this on this side, this on this. And now when they blend, we get something that's a little more pleasing. But the basic idea here is that we have the ability to optically capture and digitally manipulate and mix this image. And we can even bring in one of the older style things, such as this guy. And then that's on the blue, so we can come over here and say, no, let's look at what this one's doing. And that's just a pulse, which is kind of cool, but here we go. So digital, analog, all together in the best ways.